Hey guys, welcome back to Torchlight 2. So we are still in the Bone Gallery, first level, but we are probably approaching the end of it, so let's keep killing things. And towards the end of last episode I kind of mentioned how some crimes might be considered different by us. So, there's the ones, murder, theft and such, that we somehow inherently think of as being criminal or bad acts. You know, setting people on fire, chopping them to bits, that kind of thing. And to a lesser degree also stealing. And I'm just wondering if that might be because it's a genetic advantage to think that murder is bad for an animal that lives in a society, of course. If you're a sort of solitary hunter, that's not so much true, but since humans are basically, I guess pack animals isn't really the right word, but we live in groups, so it's advantageous for us to think murder is bad and to not do it, because obviously murder's strength is something that really harms the group as a whole. Though of course that would also mean that murder against someone who's not part of our direct group is something that would be a lot more well, let's just say a lot less severe. Health and strength, that's very nice, even though I'll never actually have the vitality for it. His armor, health recovery, minion damage, not so much. Health and physical armor I'll keep. Now this is just sort of something I just came up with on the spot. And that might be the reason why we are somehow a lot more offended and a lot more, I guess, interested in an issue if it's something that affects us directly. Than we are if it's not so much something affecting us, just someone we heard of, for example. And of course, with the more severe stuff, like say earthquakes, we do definitely feel sympathy, or at least we should feel sympathy for the victims, even though they are not related to us at all. At least not in any reasonable sense. But then for something a little less severe, having your car stolen, for example, if it happens to someone you know very well, it seems to be more of an issue. And if you just hear about someone who gets his car stolen, it seems to me that most people don't think that's as bad. It's just, oh, okay, well that sucks for him. So in the same way, I think that maybe it just makes sense genetically to consider certain crimes bad, so we don't do it ourselves, simply because it's advantageous for our group dynamic. If no one in the group steals, if no one in the group kills another member of the group, and so forth. I want to be careful not to touch that rune, because it'll teleport me and I can't get back. Well, I think I can, but it's a bit of an effort to get back. So I don't know, what's your opinion on the matter? Are some crimes inherently bad, somehow genetically bad, and others are just stuff that society tells us? Or is that complete bull? Complete bull. Almost said it, but didn't quite. Okay, a mysterious skeleton, which is the only thing we can activate. So, looking forward to the point when I have knockback resistance. Okay, some infernal ones, which are basically burning skeletons. And there he is, more drogs. A really big thing. See, this is one of the fights where I regret not having any AoE in the early point of the game, but... it'll work out. My pet can handle some other enemies. There we go. And there's the Rosa Mortis, which we were meant to find. And we also get a reward room. Okay, so that's it. Back to the surface. So, shady character, we've got you what you wanted.
I just got a new shipment.
I guess I'll take the pet tag. Not to actually equip it, I prefer having plus damage instead of reflecting damage. Vitality and focus. I'll take it. The pet tags are usually the rewards that pay the most if you sell them, so... Bye-bye, pet. And I'll go on exploring. I think I've recorded, or this is the 4th episode now, unless I lost track. I usually record batches of episodes, so it's usually 2 to 4 episodes in one session. In some rare cases it's been more, but usually 2 to 4 is what I go for. So if you... Shrine of Skill Mastery, by the way, decreases mana cost and increases the rank of my skills. So if you put some feedback into the comment sections in the first 4 videos, I will only be able to react to it at a later point, I guess. Doesn't mean I don't read it, I read all my comments. At least at this point I do not have that many viewers, so I do read everything. I don't reply to everything. If it's a question, I will almost certainly reply. Of course, some comments such as, oh, I really like this video, or I really hated this video, stuff like that, I might not always reply to. Just because some comments don't really... I guess there's not really a sense in replying. Oh, Fisherman's Lantern, very nice. Let's activate this. We get a ghostly little ship and a ghostly little guy. Alwyn, Tormented Spirit. I mean you no harm. I am but a lonely soul trapped in the afterlife. Betrayed and drowned by villainous companions, I dwell here, reliving my end, waiting in vain for my death to be avenged. But it has been over 100 years since I took my last breath, and nearly that many since my murderers themselves perished, in their hidden retreat in Plunder Cove. Seek their leader, Captain Willie, through this portal. Show him that justice has neither forgotten him nor forgiven him. Dun, dun, dun. You have a new quest. So let's go to Plunder Cove. Which is definitely one of the fun little dungeons. The game has a lot of them. But as I said, opposed to the first game, which was just one big dungeon essentially, this one has a big overworld and the dungeons are usually quite short. The longest one is 7 layers deep, but that's quite exceptional. And it has boss layers thrown in there as well, so I think there's a 5-level dungeon as well, but mostly they are really short, really quick, and that makes them kind of fun. And it also gave the developers the option to use lots of different tile sets. I think this makes for a more varied sort of environment than in the first game. Okay, this is a boss, as you can tell from the purple health bar, and that he has a special name, which means he gives us fame. And fame is exactly the same as it was in the first game, as I said. Okay, another boss, Axam. And in this game we no longer stop attacking by using a potion, so I can just hold my mouse button down, continuously attack, and if I use a potion I will drink the potion, gain the effect, and then continue attacking. That was different in the first game. It would stop auto-attacking, and that was really tedious. Okay, this chest is still trapped. Even though we already killed the 2 bosses hanging to the side of it, we also get some lost crewmen. I really do enjoy the way these crabs look. Something about them is just really cool. I'm tempted to give my pet that permanent transformation. I still have one. The problem is that transformation is one that increases defense. It doesn't look quite like this, but it's the same sort of look. I think it's just a different color. As I said, the problem is it doesn't just change the looks of the pet. Different transformations have different effects, and the crab one is rather defensive, so I'm not quite convinced simply because of this difficulty. I don't really think I want the extra defense. I'd rather have more damage. Oh, Nazgar. Another little boss. And a mysterious axe. Interesting. I might use that depending on how good it is. And One-Eyed Willie's other eye. Which I'm certain is a reference to something. Aside from the obvious One-Eyed Willie reference. And once I've got some peace and quiet here, as much as an adventurer will ever get, of course, I will distribute my level up. Okay, so these guys are haunted, meaning when they die, they release sort of spirit bolt things which seek out enemies. Well, they seek out me, in this case, since I'm the only enemy. Okay. As I said, not really looking at the white stuff at all. Sticky white stuff. Increased mana and dexterity is nice. I don't really want the sockets at the moment. Ice armor and health. Meh. I don't need the ice armor. It's kind of futile at this stage. Nope. Don't want shotguns. Don't want this. Don't want this. Don't want this. One-Eyed Willie's Other Eye is a socketable, increasing physical armor on armor and trinkets and giving me some damage over time on weapons. My weapons still aren't socketable, so... Okay, let's identify the mysterious axe. The Final Arbiter strikes only one target, so it works exactly the same as a claw weapon. Essentially, it does not have an inherent AoE. I guess I might use it if I don't find anything better. Just as you can see, it has 138 damage per second, which is more than twice as much as my Savage Brass Knuckles. And that's before having put in a socket, so I can still put in the sockets I've already found. There's one really interesting thing, by the way, which does happen from time to time. My counter on the frenzy, it starts counting down the currently 7.5, 6, 8 seconds. 6 plus 2 is 8, yeah. The 8 seconds it currently lasts. It starts counting down as soon as I've used the first attack in frenzy. So what you could do is, and what you can do if you're not interested in fighting, just running through, you hit enemies until frenzy is charged up. But then you stop hitting immediately, so frenzy is charged up, but you haven't actually hit any enemy while under the effect of frenzy. And in that case, it does not start counting down the seconds yet, so frenzy is permanently active, and you permanently gain the rather massive speed boost. You obviously don't permanently gain the... well, you do have the increased critical rate on your attacks and skills. But of course, as soon as you use or take advantage of that, it does start cutting down, because if you attack, it stops basically. But as I said, if all you do is run through enemies, then it can be worthwhile. Okay, so here's One-Eyed Willie. And I don't think he summons infinite amounts of friends, crewmen, whatever. Maybe he does, I don't know. And now it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, ghastly shoulders and ghastly boots, and I've already got the gloves? Wow. Which means, just for fun, I'll complete the set. All damage taken is reduced by 10%. It's not really that great, but it's nice to have. And so let's return to the surface. I also forgot to spend my level up. So I can do that in just a moment. Okay, I need more strength for the Final Arbiter. So let's just do that. And I think I'll put in the 15 physical damage over 5 seconds. One-Eyed Willie's Other Eye. Just equip it. Okay, so this one can go, this one can go, this one can go.
Your pet's inventory.
I might equip this, just so that I still have... Now I'm wielding 2 axes, so I still have a chance to execute. And I guess this can go to my pet as well, and my pet can go. And skill point, skill point. Okay, Howl is currently not an option. Shred Armor is. And Executioner I'll also use eventually when I've reached level 14. I'll also put skill points into Rampage. Shatterstorm maybe together with Cold Steel Mastery is really strong. I'm not quite certain what I'm going for yet. Red Wolf, again, maybe it's quite good, but not essential. Eventually I'll definitely use Battle Standard, because that's a really, really, really strong skill. It's defensive mostly, but it's still really good. And active skills, as I said, I will go for Raise eventually. It's a very strong single target skill, making boss fights really easy. Battle Rage probably also.
Your pet has returned.
Thank you. Maybe Ravage at a later stage, Ravage is a nice AoE. And maybe I'll even spec into Eviscerate at a later stage, I'm not quite certain. Depends on how much I feel I need AoE. And here, Battle Standard was really good, Wolfpack was okay. Aside from that, I don't really like the active skills here. Definitely like Howl, definitely like Raise, definitely like Ravage, definitely like Battle Rage though, so the Hunter skills are among my favorites. Anyway, let's just hand in the quest. Not interested in those right now. Actually, I might take this axe. At least for now, I'm not really tied to a particular weapon type, so I can use axes as well if I like. Okay, and I gained a rank in my renown. I'm more famous now, so I can also spec well, Executioner. It increases my chance to execute, and when I do execute, as I explained, it's attacking with both weapons at once, I increase my charge rate so my bar will fill faster for a short time. Having this at a really high level is quite strong. Okay, but I think that's really about it. I'll see you next time. I'll stop recording for now and wait for feedback, so please leave some. Bye bye!